Did you ever run a workshop in Miro and discovered people had trouble keeping up or keep getting lost? In this video, I'll show you how a new Miro BETA feature helps you as a facilitator to keep participants on track. Hi, I'm Philip, founder of BT&G Academy, certified design sprint facilitator and Miro expert. So while people are slowly starting to get back to the office, a lot of teams still work remotely or hybrid. For this reason, we use whiteboarding tools such as Miro to keep collaboration going. And maybe you've participated in workshops or even facilitated a Miro session. Were you able to keep up, or did you have to find your way during the event? There are multiple ways to zoom in and out and follow other participants, but Miro has a new trick up their sleeves called Smart Meetings. In this video, I'll explain to you what it is, how it works, and how you can use it to supercharge your next workshop. Let's dive in. So I've prepared a small Miro board that I've used before, and I want to show you a few things. So let's close this for now. And we have a Miro board here, and you can see there are multiple frames and there's a few exercises. So the way we work quite often is that we combine the Miro sessions with a bit of slide deck presentations in there as well. So this one is about problem statements, which you can forget. And in here we have an exercise where people actually have to write during an interview. And there's also some bit of voting going on here. And then there's more information and so on and so on. So there's one way that you would perhaps normally do it, and you would say, you know what, in the top right you can see my portrait. If you click on it, you will follow me and I will guide you through the presentations. And maybe you'll use frames. If you do, that's great, because people will follow you and you can click on a frame and you can then navigate through the Miro board. Another way to do it is this new beta feature called Smart Meetings. And the way it works is here on the top, you can click it. Meeting, it says beta. Participants can only use sticky notes, stickers, emojis, and comments. Why is this a very valuable switch? For people who haven't worked in Miro, things can be quite overwhelming. And by enabling this, they will have a lot less options, which is actually a good thing. So what happens when you press start? You will go to this first frame and you can continue through the presentations as with the frame navigation, as we've shown you just before this. But there are a few more things that you can actually do. As you might see in this slide, there are two icons here. It's the timer icon and the vote icon. And it all has to do with this slide where actually things have to happen. So you can actually define these ahead of time before you actually start the meeting. And if you do so, what it'll actually do is it'll guide you through the facilitation part. So let's just start, and I'm sure it'll all make sense to you. So, okay, we are in the smart meeting mode. So you can see here in the top right, the meeting is in progress. This board is currently being used for a meeting. And here in the bottom part, you can see a few things. So for example, you can see the different frames that you will go into. We have this facilitator view, so we can see what's going on. We can see that it's still going. You can end it, of course. But let's click through this. So we just do next, next, next. And what will actually happen is that with the people in the Miro board, they will automatically go through the same frames as you do. So you completely remove that navigation part from your workshop. You will actually guide people through it. And if you design a workshop session, that's actually what you want. You want to make it as easy as possible for the participants. So let's continue to the slide where we actually have an exercise or two. So we talk about the who, what, where, when, and why. And now we get to this point. And perhaps you've noticed that in the top right, we already have a timer active, because that's what we want to do. So we can pick some music, we can do like a 1-minute thingy, click play, and ta-da! A timer is now automatically on for everyone. And a timer is a really useful tool because normally you would say, okay guys, we're going to generate ideas, or you have some time to do this or do that. And this way you have that timer ready and you can stay in this focus mode and have people actually doing what they need to do without having too much extra work. So we can stop the timer for now. And if we would go to the next one, we will see that it's locked. And what I actually want to see is this part. So we have the timer, which you've just seen, but you can also say, let's vote. So what you see here is now the area in which people can actually vote on. So let's say that these are the post-its that we want to vote on. And on the right, you have this voting session. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with how voting works in Miro, but it's actually really cool. Let's say I haven't been doing my work or a part of my work. So this voting area is really large, and you can see that people can actually vote on the title and the text, which you don't want because you want them to vote on the sticky notes. And as you can see here on the right, you can see filter sticky notes. So these are 120 sticky notes that they can vote on. But I don't want to vote that. I don't want my participants to be able to vote on the text. So as you can see now that they can no longer vote on that text because I selected only filter on sticky notes. 3 votes per person. Well, I would say let's make that maybe 5 or 10 because there are 5 rows and there will be 2 minutes. I also click start. And now I can say I also want to join voting. Depending on your role as a facilitator or perhaps the workshop that you're doing, you might want to join the vote or you might not. But let's say I want to join. So I will click these 2 and I will click 2 on these, 2 on these, 2 on these and 2 here. So in the top right, you can see the remaining time and you can see which of your participants has actually already finished voting. So perhaps you have 2 minutes, but your participants are so on top of things or the choices are so obvious. You can see when people are finished. And when they are, you can actually end the voting session for everyone. So there you go. Miro is going to exercise some next level mathematics and will actually show you that these votes are the winners. For the video, it might have been better to actually put some content in those cards, but you can see the results and you can see how everyone voted. And in this case, it was just me, but normally with multiple people, you would get quite a different image. So that's what I wanted to show you, the new Miro Smart Meeting beta feature. I think it's a really cool tool to help you as a facilitator to keep your participants on track. I'd love to know what you think. Will this be a feature that you'll be using? Do you think it's a valuable way to improve your workshops? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I'm Philip from BTNG. We have an academy in the works and a community that you can already join. So if you are a fan or want to do more with design thinking, remote workshops, UX design, let me know. Get in touch with me and I'd love to onboard you in our community. Take care.